No Man's Sky has been going strong for the best part of the last 8 years, we're just going to ignore its launch and the few months following it. But it has been getting multiple free content updates every single year to give the game more features, more depth, more excitement, improved graphics, and ultimately just to make it a better all-around game. But back to the present day and in 2024, there are many factors at play which make the future of No Man's Sky pretty darn uncertain to say the least. So let's get stuck in as to why and figure out what the future may hold for Hello Games' flagship franchise. Now, in the past few years, Hello Games have tended to release 3 or 4 major No Man's Sky content updates every year, with some being larger than others, and some of the larger examples could be classed as the Beyond update, the Next and Origins update. Overall, though, the updates were big, they introduced a lot of new features and improvements, but recently they've been slightly smaller in size. In my opinion, the last major or majorly large update that was released to the game was the Echoes update back in August of 2023. The Echoes update included features like a brand new alien race known as the Autophage, pirate freighters with improved freighter battles, new story missions, a new expedition, new multi-tools, and much more. The Echoes update, along with the massive anticlimax that was Starfield as they were released around the same time, brought so many players back to No Man's Sky, along with getting new players into the game for the very first time. And this was huge considering Starfield was tipped as a game of a generation. Everything was in place for Hello Games to build on both the success of Echoes and the failing of Starfield, but there was never another update in 2023 after that, which was the first time in a number of years where there wasn't some form of update beyond patch fixes in the period between summer and Christmas. Sure, they replayed some expeditions again, but they do that every year. Personally, I thought they were planning something huge by skipping the autumn and festive season updates, and it turned out they were. Just not for No Man's Sky, and I'll go into that more in a minute, but in December we were teased with the brand new space stations which we now have, which are awesome by the way, along with the claim that 2024 will be huge for No Man's Sky. But so far it's nearly halfway through 2024 and it's been quite small in regards to updates. Don't get me wrong, this is not me complaining about the updates at all. I'm very thankful to Hello Games for continuing to release free updates, and long may it continue. I'm just merely stating the facts. It was pretty clear from the Omega update, which was effectively a new expedition with a few minor things on the side, and the Orbital update that No Man's Sky updates in general are getting smaller. And it's not surprising really when you realise they are now also working on another major game. No Man's Sky itself, though, is also being limited by the older consoles it supports, like the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, so major updates will become smaller just so these consoles can actually handle them. Even still, every single update that gets released without fail causes major issues on these platforms, like game-breaking bugs and crashes, which possibly corrupts players' save files. So there is only so much more these consoles can take before they just can't handle the game anymore. With each update that comes out, there is the inevitable player count spike followed by a post-update lull a short time afterwards. But the issue is, this post-update lull tends to occur quicker these days than it used to before. On one hand, the Orbital player update spike was huge and most certainly bigger than the Omega one, and I think this might be down to the fact that the ship customization, or more accurately ship building feature, was added because it was the most requested feature ever on No Man's Sky. But a short time later, sooner than expected really, the lull hit once again. So is the overall game losing its appeal after nearly 8 years? The stats certainly seem to point into that being the case. That's not to say that No Man's Sky is a bad game by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, the opposite is true because it is a hell of a good game. It's just these things happen with the games that like this have been out for nearly a decade. People have been playing the game for many years, we've all scratched that itch on a space exploration game, and we've all probably done everything the game has to offer more than once. And perhaps we fancy playing something a little different. Personally, I love coming back to No Man's Sky when updates come out, but I am in part to blame for that post-update lull because within about 10 to 20 hours of the new update, I go back to playing other games in my catalogue, and it appears so do thousands of other players. Talking about the future, I think the size of the future No Man's Sky updates will be the same size as Orbital and Omega, if not smaller, moving forwards. mainly because the focus of Hello Games will be shifting towards Light No Fire, and I'm not complaining about that, it's just the way things will have to go in the gaming industry when a new major title comes out by a studio. I also think there will be fewer content updates each year for the same reason, and again, that's fine. Hey, I'm happy with any free content update for No Man's Sky, no matter how big or small, because at the end of the day, they are free and they all include nice little improvements and new features for the game. But of course, the main reason for No Man's Sky's future being uncertain is Light No Fire. Currently, we have no idea when Light No Fire will hit the shelves. Hell, we don't even know which year it is going to come out, but one thing is for certain. When it is released, No Man's Sky will be taking a back seat, and for a number of reasons. The first of those reasons is Hello Games need to be sure the release goes smoothly to avoid the same catastrophe that was the No Man's Sky launch, whilst also making sure any issues that come out are fixed as a matter of priority. The second reason is a huge amount of No Man's Sky players, myself included, will be moving over to Light No Fire when it comes out, at least initially, and certainly for the long run assuming it's actually a good game, so the play count of No Man's Sky is likely going to plummet. My prediction is Hello Games will continue to release updates up until the point Light No Fire is released, and from there on out, they will either only release patch fixes or bugs and small ones like that, or they will maybe do one update per year, two if we are lucky. Their team is small and they have said that they want to keep it that way, so I don't really see them having the ability to focus on two massive games at the same time. Maybe they'll release some form of mega update when the 10-year anniversary of No Man's Sky is upon us in a little over 2 years' time, who knows. Also, how the feck are we that close to a 10-year anniversary of No Man's Sky already? God damn, time goes quick, doesn't it? At the end of the day though, no one other than those at Hello Games have a true idea of what the future holds for No Man's Sky, but we can certainly predict it will be less active with updates than it is now when Light No Fire finally gets released. And those updates will also likely be smaller. Perhaps expeditions will be replayable on a more frequent basis now that we can start them from the anomaly, but this video is not aimed at being negative towards the future of No Man's Sky. It's more a realistic interpretation of what is going to happen, because no matter how much we all love No Man's Sky, we will have to accept that Light No Fire will take many players away from it and shift the focus of Hello Games to it. It's just how it works when a new major title comes out for a studio of their size. And now that you guys know my thoughts and possible predictions on the future of No Man's Sky, I'd like to hear yours. Do you agree with me that the updates will become smaller and less frequent once Light No Fire is out, or do you think somehow that Hello Games will continue as they are doing now? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And that's all for today folks. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it gave you a little bit of a different perspective on the future of No Man's Sky. Also, if you're still here, it would be totally awesome if you could support my channel by hitting those like and subscribe buttons. You can now become a channel member as well, and as always, thank you for watching this video and I will catch you in the next one.